Hello everyone and welcome to this Selenium with Python tutorial. In this tutorial we will learn data-driven testing using Selenium WebDriver and the Excel. So let's begin. Data-driven testing is important because you might need to test your application against a different set of data. So for this particular tutorial I will be using this source demo application. So let me copy the URL from here and let me open this into the browser. And here you see that we have different users available. Now you have a scenario that you need to test this login functionality with the different set of users. Here you see that we have different set of users and we have the password for them. So what we will do is that we will write a script and we will be using this data using the Excel, and using that Excel we will be passing this data into our script. Okay, and simply let me go to the PyCharm here and let me create one new file. I am naming it as data driven. Okay. The first thing is that we need to import the WebDriver. So from Selenium, we need to import WebDriver. And in order to interact with the Excel sheet, what we need to do is that we need to use a Python library, and for this particular tutorial I'm using the Python openpyxl library. So let me go to the browser again and let me show you. So if you type here openpyxl, and so this is the Python library to read/write the Excel. So if you click on this one, you will get a documentation for this one here as well. Okay, and here you will find how to use this one, because we need to install this one, we need to import this one, we need to create an object or use the method for the workbook, then we need to grab the active worksheet. So that's how we will be working and interacting with the Excel here. Okay, so the second thing is that we need to import the load workbook from the openpyxl. Okay, this one. So let me go back here. So from open, so you might not have this one, you need to install this one. Okay, and from this one we need to import load underscore workbook. Now we will be writing the code. So the first thing, I will be adding the comment so that you can understand the code as well. The first thing is that we need to load the Excel sheet, and for that I need to create a variable. So I'm naming it as workbook is equals to load workbook, and inside this I need to provide the file. Okay, and so we haven't created a file. So what I did is that before this tutorial I've already created a test data file which is on my desktop. So let me open this one and let me show you. So it contains the username, password, first user, password, second user, password, and third user and password. Okay, now what I'll do is that I'll copy this one, and this is my folder, and I'll paste it here. Okay, so test data .xls, so this is the name, test data. Let me copy this one and let me go back here. So test data .xls. Okay, so let me confirm the extension. So again, let's go here and right click on this one, go to properties, and so it is .xls. So let me close this one, and this is the one. And the second thing, you will see that now we have this file testdata.xls available here. So that's why we are just providing the name with the extension. We are not giving the complete path because it's under our project now. Okay, now from this one we will be looking for an active sheet. So you know that Excel has multiple sheets inside this one, so we need to focus on the active one. So I'm creating another variable sheet equals to, and using this workbook which we loaded, then from this one we will say workbook dot active. Okay, now once we have this one, so basically we are doing the same thing which we have seen here. So workbook and grab the active sheet. Okay, so now let's use the driver. So driver is equals to WebDriver dot Chrome. Then we'll maximize the window. So driver dot maximize window, and here once we have done this, now we basically need to iterate through the Excel, right? And it is really easy if we are using openpyxl. It is really easy to iterate. So I will say for row in sheet, so we'll be iterating into this active sheet. Okay, so sheet dot iterate underscore rows, and inside this basically what we need to do is that we need to tell that from which row it should start iterating. So in our Excel, the first row is basically the headers, so we need to tell that start minimum underscore row is equals to 2. Then the maximum row is equals to sheet dot max underscore row. So basically it will go to the maximum row of this one, and the third thing we need to ensure here is that it should contain the values. If it doesn't contain the values, it should not proceed to the any other row here. Okay, so this is our iteration loop here. Okay, now from the sheet, from where we need to pick the username and password. So if I open the Excel sheet again, so let me show you. So this is on the desktop as well. So you see that against every row we have on the 0 we have username, on the first index we have the password, right? So based on this we will be grabbing the information. Let me go back here. So user name equals to, and this is the same variable which we used in the sheet. So row, and inside this we need to pass 0, and then we have same for the password. So password equals to row index 1, and now we are good to go. So basically let's browse or navigate to the web page, and here we need to provide this URL. So let me copy this one and paste it here. So once this will open, so let me in parallel put some sleeps as well, so that we can, when we execute this one, you will see how it is working. Okay, so I will put some time dot sleep. Let me give 5 here, and now we need to provide, after going to the page, we need to provide the username, password, and click on this one. So find by ID, and let's import this buy package. So we have all the packages here and it looks good to me. And again, let's try ID, and here we need to provide the value. So we go here and inspect this one. You will see that we have a ID which is user dash name. So let me copy this one and let me go back here. And what exactly we need to do? We need to send keys, and inside this we need to pass this username, because in every iteration we will be getting another user and password which we need to pass here. In a similar way, we need to go with driver dot find element by dot ID, and here we need to provide the value of ID. So let's inspect the password, and the ID is password here. So let me copy this one and paste it here. And then again we need to do send keys, and inside this we need to send a password. And once we do this, after this we need to click on the login button. So simply driver dot find element, and let me see, either we have the ID for this button as well. So let me inspect this login button, and yes, we have this ID login dash button. So let me copy this one, and now again by dot ID, and let's provide the ID, and on the button we need to click. So it will log in us to the particular application. And after this login in, I want to wait for some time so that you can see that it's logged in successfully. Okay, and after that what I need to do is that, because after I need to log in with the first user, log out, then log in with the second user, then log out, and same goes with the third user. So let me log in with this standard user here, and this is the password for this one. And now let's inspect this hamburger here, and let me go to selector sub, and here we have a relative XPath. So let me copy this one, and after 5 seconds I will say driver dot find element by dot XPath, and here we need to provide a XPath, and here we need to click. Then after this again I will wait for a couple of seconds here. Here we are giving a hardcode wait, but in our future tutorials I will show you how you can provide the dynamic waits. So we haven't learned the waits as of now. In future I will show you. Okay, so after this now what I will do is that simply driver dot find element, and again what I will do is that I will open, after clicking on this one, here is the logout button. So let me inspect this one, and this is the relative XPath. So let me copy this one, and now let's go with by dot XPath and the value of XPath here, and again we need to click. And after clicking again I will go with time dot sleep, and I will give a 5 seconds. And after all execution, when this execution will be completed, I will quit the driver dot quit. So we have written our script and see how it works. So load the Excel sheet. This is the first step. Then here we are actually selecting active sheet, and here we are actually using the WebDriver and maximize the window. Here we are iterating the value, and rest the code is pretty much easy to understand. Okay, now let's run this one and see what happens. So we got openpyxl does not support the .xls file format. So if you have .xls, you need to use this library or convert it to the more recent .xls file. Okay, so simply if I go here, let me show you the properties is .xls. So let me go back to this one where we have pasted this file, and this is the file. Let me open this one and let me save as into this folder. So the folder is, so it says 97 to 30 workbook. So we need to go with the Excel workbook or the latest one, Excel workbook, and there's on my desktop actually. So this PC, and inside this one, where is my desktop? Here's my desktop. Inside this I have a folder. So let me paste this file. Yes, replace this file, and let me close this one. And if I see, let's see the formats here, properties. This still says .xls. Change. Oh yeah, so let me do one more thing. Inside this folder, let me change the file name, or maybe we can directly go with the changing the xls here and see what happens. So it says no such directory because we don't have this one here, this one. So let me rename this one, refactor, rename, and I will say xls refactor, and now let's run this one. So still we are getting the error because of this file test data.xls. So what I'll do is that there's a problem with the file. Simply I will go and create Excel for this one. So let's create an Excel file. So simply here, and what I will do is that I will open this here as well. And okay, so there's a problem with the file. Let me delete this one and let me go back to the desktop, and we have this test data file. So now you can see we have two different files. So test data and test data, this one. So this one is recently created. So let me remove this file. This is the old one, and I believe we are picking up this one. So this is XLS one. So we don't need to create this file. So now let me copy this one, but let me see the properties of this one first. So this is XLS, right? So let me copy this one and let me go back to the folder and let me paste it here. Now we have this XLS file, test data.xls, and now let's simply run this one and see what happens. Now this time it should work. It will open the browser. It should provide the first username and password, standard user. It will log out, and then it will provide the second user. Then it will provide the third user. So one thing you need to ensure, just like this one, the file format should be XLS, right? The file format should be the XLS, otherwise it will not work. And in order to work with the XLS file, the older version of the Excel, you need to use another library, right? So that's how actually you can actually work with the Excel. So still is going, you see that is provided the third user, which is the glitch or the performance user. Now it will log out. So in order to work with this one, so basically once it will complete, it will quit the browser, and let's see. So successful execution. So we need to ensure that the path and the extension of the file in order to use this openpyxl. Okay, and after ensuring this one, you can use this one. You need to load this file, go to the active sheet, and active sheet, if you are using the headers, make sure that you are iterating from the second row, and you also need to provide that what should be the maximum row. So go to the maximum row where we have the values. Okay, and in our row first column we have username, in our row we have password in the second one, so it's interspace, so 01, and then we are just opening the browser and providing the username password, which is coming from this particular Excel sheet. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. If you like our content, then do like, comment, share and subscribe our channel. Once again, thank you so much and see you in the next tutorial.